So you thought the Diddy drama was over? Oh no, my friend, 50 Cent just set the internet on fire. I'm talking flamethrower level chaos. Forget reality TV, forget politics. This is bigger than the Super Bowl halftime show, the Grammys, and the Illuminati's group chat combined. 50 Cent hopped online, threw shade like he's auditioning for Zeus Network, and dropped names that got the entire industry sprinting for their lawyers. This wasn't some cryptic post or mysterious source. Nah, 50 pulled receipts, screenshots, and phone logs that had celebs calling their PR teams before breakfast. The man basically said, "You want truth? Fine, here's who's been covering for Diddy all these years." And baby, when I tell you the list is shocking, we're talking music moguls, actors, producers, maybe even a few preachers who should have stayed in church. The stuff 50 just leaked makes surviving Diddy look like a bedtime story. The world thought they knew who the puppet master was. Until Curtis' Get Rich or Die Trying, Jackson ripped the curtain off. Get your popcorn? Because this right here, this isn't gossip. This is a digital demolition of an empire. Let's rewind the clock. Because before 50 Cent decided to turn the internet into his personal courtroom, this feud was simmering like a pot of hot tea on a Sunday morning. Everyone knew 50 and Diddy had beef. That's no secret. They've been throwing subliminals for years. From shade-filled interviews to petty Instagram posts that could make even the Kardashians look subtle. But what just happened? This wasn't shade. This was an execution. It all started when whispers began surfacing again about Diddy's mystery files. You know, the ones industry insiders claimed were too explosive to ever see daylight. Everyone thought it was just conspiracy chatter. That is, until 50 Cent came along and said, "Let me make this real simple for y'all." Boom. Screenshot, screenshot, screenshot. And suddenly the timeline exploded. The man didn't just leak one thing. He cracked open Pandora's box and said, "Here's who's been protecting Diddy, and here's what they've been hiding." You could practically hear the collective gasp from Hollywood to Atlanta. Now, if you've followed Diddy's trail of drama, you already know it's messier than a Thanksgiving dinner with the Kardashians and West sitting across from each other. Allegations of parties, cover-ups, disappearances, NDAs thicker than a college textbook. It's been years of whispers, but no one dared say names, until now. See, 50 Cent's not your average troll. The man is a walking PR nightmare for anyone who crosses him. He's the same guy who ended Ja Rule's career with memes before memes were even a thing. He doesn't throw punches, he drops nuclear bombs. So when 50 said, "Y'all ain't ready for what's coming," the world should have listened. The leak started on his Instagram story. Just a black background, white text. They all knew. No tags, no context, just chaos. And within minutes, fans were decoding it like it was the Dead Sea Scrolls. But then came the follow-up post. A carousel of screenshots showing emails, text messages, and photos with names blurred. At first, then he unblurred everything. The first name? A legendary record exec known for mentoring young artists. The second? A Grammy-winning rapper who's been suspiciously quiet about every Diddy controversy. The third? A high-profile film producer whose company handled charitable donations that nobody ever audited. The dots started connecting faster than an FBI whiteboard. And 50 wasn't just naming names. He was narrating the downfall in real time. "Y'all been protecting a man who's been buying silence for decades," he said in a live session that peaked at over 600,000 viewers. It's not a secret anymore. This is organized dirt at the highest level. You could almost feel the tension through the screen. It wasn't just gossip. This felt like the entire entertainment industry's skeleton closet getting opened and aired out in public. Of course, the internet did what it always does, turned the chaos into content. Memes flew faster than CNN updates. 50's about to get his own Netflix doc at this point, one user tweeted. Another wrote, "Diddy watching 50's live like it's his own funeral." But beneath the humor, there was fear. A lot of it. Because people realized this wasn't clout chasing. This was revenge. Let's be real. 50 has been poking the bear for years. From joking about Diddy's parties to mocking his business moves, he's been playing chess while everyone else played checkers. But this leak? It was the checkmate. And to make it worse, 50 wasn't bluffing. Insiders confirmed that he's been collecting receipts for years. Every NDA, every shady transaction, every off-the-record meeting, he had timestamps. In one particularly wild clip, 50 holds up his phone and says, "You think y'all can gaslight the whole culture? Nah, the truth always comes out, especially when it owes me money." And just like that, He dropped another screenshot, this time showing what appeared to be payment logs and communications between Diddy's camp and multiple entertainment figures. That's when social media went into full meltdown. Twitter, TikTok, and YouTube turned into digital battlegrounds. Comment sections flooded with "We knew it" and "He's finally done." Influencers started making timeline breakdowns like it was the OJ trial. Everyone wanted a piece of the chaos. Meanwhile, Diddy's team scrambled. PR statements were in progress, lawyers were monitoring the situation, and insiders whispered that Diddy himself was furious. Some said he called in favors. Others claimed he went ghost, shutting off his phone, canceling meetings, and disappearing from public view. It was pure panic mode. But 50? Oh, he was having the time of his life. Posting memes, responding to fans, and teasing that this was only the beginning. He even dropped a caption that read, "When you play dirty, don't be mad when someone digs up the dirt." Classic 50, equal parts petty and poetic. What makes this leak so dangerous isn't just what 50 exposed, it's what it implies. Because according to the documents and messages, there's an entire network of celebrities, executives, and brand partners who allegedly helped keep certain scandals under wraps. Everything from hush payments to falsified contracts, and 50's receipts point directly to people you'd never expect, some of whom have built entire careers on truth and authenticity. By the next morning, hashtags like Don Diddy exposed, nigh 50 Cent leaks, and they all knew dominated social media trends. Fans were connecting dots, journalists were sniffing around, and even mainstream outlets started picking up the story. TMZ posted a headline that basically read, 50 Cent just declared war. But the craziest part? Every time someone tried to discredit him, 50 dropped more proof. It was like watching a digital boxing match where the other guy didn't know how to throw punches. Screenshots, old clips, mysterious voice notes, 50 had layers to this mess. He wasn't just exposing Diddy, he was exposing the system around him. And make no mistake, this wasn't random timing. Rumor has it, 50 had been waiting for the perfect moment. With Diddy already under scrutiny for ongoing investigations and lawsuits, 50 saw the cracks forming and decided to bulldoze the entire foundation. He even hinted that this was just the surface, telling fans, "Y'all think you've seen everything? Wait till I post the names y'all really respect." By then, Hollywood's elite were sweating bullets. Suddenly, everyone who'd ever partied with Diddy was rushing to scrub photos, delete captions, and unfollow quietly. 1. A-list artist even turned off comments after being tagged in over 20,000 posts linking them to the Diddy list. The dominoes were falling fast, and here's the irony, 50 didn't even need to fabricate anything. The truth itself was more explosive than any rumor. He was just the loudest voice daring to say it. Like he told one reporter years ago, "I don't start drama, I just finish it." Publicly, as the dust began to settle, one thing was clear. This was no longer about petty rap beef or social media jokes. 50 Cent had officially cracked open one of the entertainment industry's dirtiest secrets, and the fallout had only just begun. Everyone was watching, waiting, and whispering the same thing. If 50's got this much on Diddy, who's next? Buckle up, because this saga just went from a messy leak to a full-blown Hollywood apocalypse. Once 50 Cent's post went viral, it wasn't just the blogs talking, it was everyone. Celebrities were sliding into PR crisis mode faster than you can say, "No comment." Screenshots were spreading like wildfire. YouTube commentators were dissecting every syllable, and fans were connecting dots that nobody wanted connected. It wasn't a scandal anymore. It was an industry reckoning. The first wave of reactions came from the people 50 allegedly named. You could practically smell the panic through their Instagram captions. One producer dropped a suspicious, "I mind my own business" tweet that only made things worse. Another rapper suddenly announced he was taking a social media break, which everyone knows is code for "my lawyer said don't post," and one A-list actress, who'd been spotted at multiple Diddy events, quietly turned off her comments after fans flooded her posts with the same question. "What did you know?" Posts with the same question. "What did you know?" Meanwhile, 50 Cent was treating this chaos like his own personal Super Bowl halftime show. He went live again, sipping champagne, laughing like a man who just exposed a government secret. "They thought I was playing," he said, "but I've been saving this energy since 2003. You could hear the arrogance, the victory, and the absolute lack of fear. The man wasn't scared of anyone. Not Diddy, not his lawyers, not the so-called elite circle that suddenly went silent. And let's talk about that silence. When an entire generation of celebrities suddenly stops posting, something's wrong. Usually they're showing off new cars, new fits, or fake relationships for clout. But after 50's bombshell, radio silence. No red carpet selfies, no yacht stories. Nothing but panic and PR meetings behind closed doors. It got so bad that some insiders claimed major studios were pulling contracts. A few brand endorsements reportedly got paused pending review. Basically, 50's leaks had Hollywood shaking in designer boots. This wasn't just a bad headline, it was career demolition. But of course, the internet did what the internet does best, turn devastation into entertainment. TikTok turned the situation into a meme factory. One viral video showed Diddy's face edited onto the Among Us imposter with the caption, "When 50 finds your secret folder." Another had 50's laugh echoing over a clip of celebrity mansions burning down. Metaphorically, of course. Even late-night hosts couldn't resist, calling it the hip-hop version of Watergate, but with better soundtracks. Meanwhile, music journalists started digging deeper. Old interviews resurfaced, ones where Diddy hinted at friends in high places and knowing too much to ever fall. Well, now those quotes were aged like spoiled milk. The narrative flipped overnight. Suddenly, everyone who once praised Diddy's business genius was revising history like they never knew him. The same magazines that crowned him Mogul of the Year were now publishing exposés titled How Power Protected Diddy for Decades. And while the headlines piled up, 50 Cent just kept feeding the fire. Every time the media tried to pivot, he'd drop another post, another cryptic message, another photo, another clue. Fans started calling it the Diddy Files. One fan even joked, "This man turned Instagram into the FBI database." But here's where things got even darker. Rumors started swirling that people connected to the scandal were suddenly missing. Some went completely off the grid. Others were reportedly in meetings overseas. A few deleted entire accounts overnight. It was like watching dominoes fall in slow motion. Except the dominoes were million-dollar reputations. Then came the wildest twist. Anonymous insiders started leaking their own evidence to independent blogs, claiming they were tired of protecting monsters. Screenshots, voice notes, contracts. It was chaos. Everyone wanted to distance themselves from Diddy before the storm swallowed them whole. You could almost hear the collective, "Don't drag me into this" energy radiating from Hollywood. And through all this, 50 Cent was chilling. He even posted a meme of himself dressed as Thanos with the caption, "Fine, I'll do it myself." It wasn't just pettiness anymore. It was domination. The man had the entire entertainment industry under psychological siege. Now, the reactions from other rappers were pure gold. Some were cheering him on like it was WWE. Others were terrified, saying, "This could have been any of us." One even admitted, if 50's leaking this much, imagine what he's holding back. And let's not forget the fans. Oh, they were loving every second. Reddit threads looked like detective agencies. Twitter spaces were running emergency town halls. YouTubers were dropping 3-hour breakdowns titled, "The End of the Diddy Dynasty." Even celebrities with no direct ties to Diddy started giving awkward interviews. One pop star said, "I just hope everyone finds peace." Girl, peace left the chat the moment 50 pressed upload. Then, like the grand finale of a reality show, the biggest twist dropped. An anonymous whistleblower contacted an independent outlet claiming 50 wasn't done. They alleged that he had videos, photos, and unreleased audio that could change the narrative forever. Fans went into overdrive. Every second person online was screaming, "Drop the tapes!" But 50, ever the strategist, refused to show his full hand. Instead, he posted a chilling caption, "Timing is everything. I'm not done yet." Boom! Millions of comments, thousands of reposts, and the world officially on edge. The man turned anticipation into weaponry. Suddenly, celebrities who'd never commented on gossip were tweeting things like, "This industry needs cleansing." Some fans speculated even Jay-Z was watching quietly from his penthouse, sipping wine and taking notes. Because one thing's for sure, when 50 goes scorched earth, everyone in the blast radius gets nervous. By now, public opinion had shifted dramatically. What started as a Diddy scandal had morphed into an industry-wide witch hunt. People began asking uncomfortable questions. Who else is protected by power circles? How many careers were built on silence? And why did it take 50 Cent, the same guy who trolled Floyd Mayweather for not reading, to finally pull the curtain back? But that's the irony. Only someone like 50 could do it. He's too rich to be silenced, too ruthless to be intimidated, and too entertained by chaos to stop. Every time the world thought he'd gone too far, he'd just grin and say, "You think this is far? Watch this." In the end, the reaction wasn't just disbelief, it was dread. Because if the things he hinted at were true, then Diddy's alleged network wasn't just about parties or secrets. It was about control. Control over artists, control over narratives, control over who gets famous and who gets erased. And now, that control was slipping away, one post at a time. The world wasn't laughing anymore. It was watching, wide-eyed, waiting for the next shoe to drop. Because everyone knew one thing for sure. When 50 Cent says, "I'm not done," history's about to repeat itself. Except this time, it's live, unfiltered, and unstoppable. The fallout hit like a nuclear blast wrapped in designer silk. What started as a social media leak had officially transformed into the biggest celebrity meltdown of the decade. TMZ couldn't keep up. Shade Room was posting updates every 5 minutes. Even CNN threw in a segment titled "Hip Hop Power Collapse 50 Cent vs. Diddy." The world wasn't just entertained, it was entranced. This was the Super Bowl of scandals, and 50 Cent was the head coach, quarterback, and cheerleader all in one. The first wave of consequences was brutal. Sponsors began cutting ties with anyone remotely connected to the leak. Big brands that had spent years polishing their inclusive and positive images suddenly decided Diddy and his entourage weren't part of the vision anymore. Within 72 hours, 2 luxury partnerships quietly ended, 3 projects were paused indefinitely, and one massive deal involving a billion-dollar liquor company reportedly vanished overnight. The mogul who once bragged about "can't stop, won't stop" had officially hit a wall, but 50 wasn't satisfied. Oh no, he wasn't just watching the empire crumble, he was broadcasting the demolition live. He posted a clip of Diddy's old interviews talking about control and captioned it, "You lost it, Playboy." The game changed. The internet lost its collective mind. Fans were screaming, "He's the Thanos of the rap industry!" Others called him the petty prophet. And honestly, both fit perfectly. Then came the ripple effect. Artists who'd once praised Diddy started rewriting history faster than Wikipedia editors on caffeine. Suddenly, they barely knew him. Some even went on podcasts to distance themselves. One R&B singer went viral after saying, "We all saw stuff we shouldn't have seen, but it wasn't our place to speak." Boom. Instant headlines. The world realized just how deep this rabbit hole went, and in the middle of it all, 50 Cent kept feeding the flames with surgical precision. He dropped throwback footage, cryptic quotes, and tweets that read like threats disguised as jokes. "Funny how receipts age like wine," he wrote one night, followed by a picture of a wine glass and a folder icon. Fans lost it. The comment sections were pure chaos. Everyone wanted to know, what's next? The chaos even reached Diddy's inner circle. Longtime associates reportedly jumped ship, fearing subpoenas or public embarrassment. Some insiders allegedly began cooperating with investigative reporters, trading information for anonymity. One journalist even claimed that 50's leaks pushed law enforcement to reopen certain files. Whether that's true or not, it added gasoline to the inferno. And while Diddy's team scrambled to contain the damage, the public was having a field day. TikTok edits compared him to every villain from Scarface to Voldemort. Hashtags like "surviving the leaks" and 50 did it again dominated the charts. Entire podcasts were launched just to analyze each of 50's posts. One viral TikTok summed it up perfectly. 50 Cent didn't just cancel Diddy, he canceled an entire era. Cancel Diddy, he canceled an entire era. The irony? While everyone else was panicking, 50's brand exploded in value. His TV shows spiked in ratings, his streams shot up, and even his old interviews started trending again. Fans began calling him the last real mogul standing, and he played right into it. "Y'all see how quiet they got?" he said during a recent live stream. That's the sound of truth doing push-ups. But not everyone was laughing. Behind the scenes, industry gatekeepers were terrified. Rumors swirled that other powerful names were trying to make peace with 50, offering partnerships or information in exchange for silence. He even teased that one of Diddy's closest friends tried to cut a deal. Fans speculated it was another major hip-hop legend, though 50 never confirmed. Then, out of nowhere, a leaked audio clip began circulating online. It featured voices allegedly discussing keeping certain files from resurfacing. Within minutes, social media detectives connected it to Diddy's legal circle. Whether real or not, the damage was irreversible. The world now believed that everything 50 said was true. Perception had become reality. At this point, the entertainment world looked like a battlefield. Every celebrity statement sounded rehearsed. Every silence felt suspicious. Even unrelated stars started trending just for unfollowing the wrong person. A-list friendships collapsed. PR teams were working 18-hour shifts trying to control a narrative that was no longer controllable. And through it all, 50 Cent stood unbothered, cool, collected, and somehow always one tweet ahead of the storm. "You can't play chess with someone who built the board," he wrote. Fans declared it the quote of the century. Even his enemies couldn't deny it. He had turned this chaos into strategy. Eventually, Diddy broke his silence. A shaky video surfaced online. No filters, no fancy lighting, just him speaking directly into the camera. "Don't believe everything you see," he said. "People lie for attention." But it was too late. The damage wasn't just digital, it was psychological. The trust, the mystique, the power, all gone in a single viral cycle. Comments poured in, most of them brutal. "This ain't the bad boy era anymore," one fan wrote. It's the 50 era now. And maybe that's the most shocking part. In one brutal week, 50 Cent didn't just expose Diddy, he redefined celebrity warfare. He showed the world that influence isn't about PR, it's about perception. That power isn't about silence, it's about control of the narrative. And once you lose that, you're done. The entertainment industry is still trembling. Deals are being rewritten, NDAs are being burned. People who once laughed at 50's antics are now whispering his name like he's folklore. Half villain, half vigilante. He's not just trolling anymore. He's teaching the entire world a new kind of power play. And the craziest part? He's still not done. He's hinted at a bigger reveal, a final chapter. Fans are convinced that what we've seen so far is just the trailer. And knowing 50, that means something massive is waiting in the vault. Because if there's one thing everyone learned from this digital demolition, it's simple. Never underestimate a man who holds grudges and screenshots. Hollywood can pretend to move on, but the echoes of this scandal are permanent. It's no longer just gossip, it's history. And as 50 himself said with that signature smirk, "I don't destroy for fun, I destroy for legacy." And there you have it. The explosion heard round the world? 50 Cent didn't just throw shade, he threw the whole damn eclipse. What we just witnessed wasn't drama, it was a cultural reset. The kind that makes celebrities rethink their entire friend list and PR teams cry into their iced lattes. Diddy's empire is shaking like a bad remix, and 50? He's somewhere laughing, plotting, and sipping on a victory drink that probably costs more than our rent combined. But let's be honest, this isn't the end. This is just season 1 of a saga that's juicier than any reality show you've ever binged. The question now isn't what did Diddy do, it's what else does 50 know? Because if history has taught us anything, this man doesn't drop a bomb unless he's got 3 more waiting behind it. So here's your mission, scandal hunters. Smash that like button like it owes you money. Drop a comment telling us which name shocked you the most, or which celebrity you think is next to get unmasked by the petty king himself. And if you're new here, hit that subscribe button before 50 leaks your search history. This is where the real stories live. The untold, the unfiltered, the chaos the PR teams can't clean up fast enough. Because here at Scandal Spark, we don't do boring. We do boom, so stay tuned because by the time this video ends, 50 Cent might have already posted something new. And trust me, you'll want to be here when the next secret drops. This is Scandal Spark, where fame burns brighter, right before it explodes. Right before it explodes.